Man. Listen, it wouldn't be a Dallas Cowboy offseason if Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones didn't seize the opportunity to grab headlines. It's the natural state of who we are. We keep hoping that it's gonna change, but it ain't gonna never change. Be frank with everybody. They make too much money to change. They're not changing. Like, what would you do if every time you threw a rock at a hornet's nest, $100 million came out? Maybe that's too much money. What if 10,000 came out? Now you knew that hornet's nest was gonna, and those bees and those hornets was gonna injure some people, but you still was gonna get that 10,000. What would you do? What would you do? So every time Jerry and Steve and stir up controversy, people get stung. Zeke got stung, remember? Zeke who? Zeke was just minding his business, holding out, trying to get his contract. And you open up the paper and you stung by a hornet. Somebody threw a rock. He had to hit that headline, didn't he? On your best player, on one of your best players. You just had to, didn't you? Dak was coming off a bye week. And as he was trying to rest, trying to get his mind ready for the next game, he opened up the paper. Stephen Jones got his name in his mouth. He said, we just trying to get him to realize that if he take less, that we just trying to put a team around him. So he blaming Dak and getting a headline all at the same time. And it was not even true. So now we got somebody else that's getting hit with this rock, this hornet's nest. Hey, it's the nature of the business. So we go through it. Y'all stay with Boss Cowboy Sports. We go through it. All right. Yeah. So, man, we sure got a whole lot, a lot of talking going on. It's that time of the year. It's frustrating because our off seasons are not quiet. We want quiet off seasons, but we don't get them. We never get them. We want them, but we don't get them. So, it won't never happen too, because it's passed down to his son. Or Steven go do the same stuff. Steven knows every time he throws a rock, a publicity rock, people go get stung, but people go watch. So my boy Gerard Daniels, what's up, man? Go Cougs, my dog. I play football with him. He played receiver with me. Check this out. I like this comment. He said, Cowboys stay in the news. Exactly. They do stay in the news. But guess what, Gerard? We keep ourselves in the news. See, just like the media, like the profit off publicity, we do too. We do too. That's why you ever notice every other team gets quiet around this time. Not Dallas. Dallas is going to seize every opportunity with Jerry and Steven to get them headlines. They don't care if it's on their own people. They don't care if you was loyal to them. They don't care if you're a good guy. They don't care. They don't care if you're just a hard-working person like that, keeping your head down. You're not above it. If I can make headlines off you, I will. Zeke who? Yeah. Ooh, see, you hit it. Because I don't think most people see it. I don't think most people see it, big dog. C hit it dead on the head. Look at C comment. He said, Cowboys' favorite time of the year right here. Yeah. And it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. But I'm going to tackle these latest rumors. We gonna go through the drama. We go piece it apart. Cause what they trying to sell us on is good news. They trying to sell us like, oh, Dan Quinn is coming back. Kellen Moore is coming back. Oh, everything is, let's run it back. But the fans, we smart fans. We not dumb fans. We really done already. Most of us have done our homework. Most of us look around and we study. So we already know what the deal is. We can see it real clear. But I'm gonna get right into it. I ain't gonna waste no time. If you new to the channel, first thing to do is hit that like button. That's the first thing to do. Hit that like. Let's just make it a habit. As you come in the house, hit that like. And then if you like the content, then subscribe. But out of courtesy, hit that like. Just make it a habit. Because it lets everybody know that we're here. It start pushing out the content to other Dallas Cowboy fans just by hitting that like. And then leave a comment. Be active in this show. Be active. I'm going to try to take as many comments as I see. So be active as well. And leave a comment after the show. Like what you think, where you think I was right, where you think I was wrong, whatever. Because I'm going to try to address every comment. No matter how many it is, I'm going to try to address every one. So anyway, let's start with, because we're dealing with a lot today. We're going to deal with the Kellen Moore returns, the hot seat rumors, and Jerry Jones disrespect. All right. I'm going to get right into that. Let's go with the disrespect. Let's do that. Let's do that first. So here we go. I was listening to this morning, so y'all check this out. Here we go. Listen to this.
What are the Cowboys doing? What is Jerry Jones doing talking about Dan Quinn like this?
Oh, also, I'll put the links in the description. So all the video references are always in the description to where you can go double check behind me and them to make sure I'm not trying to spin anything. I like to say it as I hear it and break it down as I hear it. So here we go.
Saying, yeah, the way we kept him, every coach, every one of the three coaches that it's happened with, they said they love to be the head coach of the Cowboys. Everyone.
Yeah. And you can see Sean is tripping out. Sean is like, you said that? So Kellen and Dan Quinn both voiced that they want to be the head coach, and you put that in the public.
So my point is a lot of logic as to why they might not take a job now rather than wait and see how the cards go in the future. How could Mike McCarthy be fine with that statement? Like, let's be Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, right? You're tight with each other. You're working together. Mike McCarthy hired Dan Quinn. And the day after the news comes out that you're staying with the Cowboys, right? Mm-hmm. That Friday when Jerry called in unscheduled to KMC. I'll be McCarthy. You be Dan Quinn. Hey, man. Glad you're back. How'd the old man keep you? How'd he pull it off?
Well, he gave me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Oh, okay. So just money. He money whipped you.
No. Kind of gave me your job. That's kind of what he did.
All right.
That boy's crazy. He gave me your job. They laughing, but that ain't funny. is we already talked about before, the unsullying of Mike McCarthy. We've made that clear that Mike McCarthy has been unsullied even in the very beginning of him walking in. Unsullied, if you don't understand what that is, that means his privates was cut, right? From the movie Game of Thrones. That was an army where they was built like that, okay? So it's not just that. It's that he keep attacking his main guy. Let me just ask the chat a question. How, and I want to see your responses. How in the world does men supposed to respect Mike McCarthy if his owner keeps embarrassing him and undressing him in the public? Can somebody answer that question? I'm serious. Like, nobody can coach in this environment. Like, nobody can coach in this environment. And some of us, not y'all, because the people that follow Boss Cowboy Sports, we don't go for this. But a lot of people really do believe. They really do believe that, oh, Dan Quinn will be better than Mike McCarthy. No, he would not. Mike McCarthy would soon be undressed and unsullied just like Mike. Nobody can lead men in this environment. He's literally said that. Like the fan base sitting back like, Mike, we want you gone. We really just want Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn. No, we ain't thinking that. We might be a little bit mad at Mike, but we ain't thinking that. We ain't thinking Dan, and no, we not. Let me keep going though.
Hey, now, it probably didn't go like that,
No.
But if you're Mike McCarthy and you see that comment from Jerry, how are you not thinking, what did y'all say about me and my job status?
And real quick, shout out to Sean and RJ, because they keeping it real right now. They are.
And then Jerry moves on, and Dave Hellman was there. He's there. Were you there?
Were you there?
It was apparently
Were you there?
Dave Hellman and Jory Epstein, the only two reporters around Jerry at the Senior Bowl. And Hellman said he's like side-eyeing Jory like,
Hold on. Comment of the day. Y'all give this comment right here a hand clap. This comment right here. Same old Jerry want to be in the spotlight. Let's give that comment a hand clap. Yeah, that deserves a hand clap. Michael, dead on. I'm going to leave that up.
like, is he saying this? You know, you give that look to someone like, is this happening right now?
So the reporters was looking at each other like, is Jerry doing this?
You know, the way you look at each other during an interview. And then Jerry goes on to say, yeah, you know, he's a guy, if I didn't have a coach, I would have been interviewing him for our coaching spot. Mike knows that someday somebody other than him will be coach of the Cowboys. Yeah, but Jerry, Mike, I think in his mind has 8 more years here.
Yeah.
Like, he just finished his second year. We're not talking about Bill Belichick in his 70s right now. So this is Jerry, to me, like, being really, really inappropriate with Mike McCarthy.
Inappropriate?
Being really unfair to Mike McCarthy. And then, does McCarthy have to side-eye Dan Quinn to wonder, what were you told?
See, stop. See, Sean, I really wish you would have slowed down right there and just made that case. Because Sean, oh man, let me see if I got my organ. Oh man, because listen, if I got my organ, Sean right there. Ooh, Sean was preaching. But sometimes the sermon can go too fast. He said, now, does Mike McCarthy have to side-eye Dan Quinn? Think about that. See, because I told y'all, this is the Game of Thrones. See, a lot of us, we say stuff like, well, if it was me, I would march right into Jerry's office and say, hey, either you're going to do it my way or I quit. Nah. Maybe you would if your money good. But if you got ambition for more, you ain't doing that. You not doing that. In the Game of Thrones, these guys are sitting in a palace. I want to make that clear. They work in a literal palace, okay? And there's one king. But people want to sit on top of that. And Jerry, just by talking, has now set up dissension between Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn. It was already dissension with Kellen Moore. Yeah. And so, because a lot of people, they like, what you mean dissension? Why do you think Mike McCarthy never stepped in? It was because, and it makes sense. See, I said this a million times, but now it's getting ready to apply to Dan Quinn. When Kellen Moore was put as a package deal to Mike McCarthy, the wisdom of Mike knew, because he'd been a head coach for a while. He was like, okay, so if that young dude fail, I'm going to get tied to that. So since y'all calling this dude genius, the best thing I can do, is let that genius handle his own business. So that if he fail, it's on him, not me. So since y'all saying he go fix me and he go have me even better, well, he's going to install the offense. He's going to plan the offense. He's going to call the offense. I'm going to give him suggestions and I'm going to stand back. But it was because of Jerry meddling from the very beginning. I did a whole video on that. It's one of my best videos too. Like it took off. But yeah, now think about it. Now we got the same dynamic that's now at Dan Quinn, where Mike McCarthy has to look over his shoulder because of the work environment that Jerry put in place. I don't know if nobody else being that clear, but I'm very clear. It's the work environment that his boss put in place. Yeah. So I'm going to just keep going. Let's just listen to more. Here we go.
About the head coaching position here, I think that Dan Quinn is now more of a threat to replace Mike McCarthy than Sean Payton is. Because I'm going to guess that Sean Payton stays in TV for a couple of years, and if McCarthy doesn't make at least the NFC Championship game, I mean, unless Jerry is just overhyping Dan Quinn, that Dan Quinn takes this team over instead of Sean Payton. But man, this is really unfair, I think, to Mike.
Yeah, it's unfair. You got that right, Sean. It's unfair. And then Williams said, I can only say Kellen Moore defense that the O-line didn't play well. The O-line shuffling hurt too. Really, I'm going to say this. It's no defense. Even that's not a defense. That's not a defense for Kellen. In terms of the offensive line not playing well, I don't subscribe to that as a defense for him. Because first of all, we did a show where we proved that also the breakdown of the offensive line was Jerry. He was the one that was lobbying for La'el Collins over Steele. Remember, calling him the enforcer? He got to be out there, all that stuff. But he also said himself early that the whole time, the person that was responsible for the development of Steele was Philman. And he was the one that made the hard call to start him. So now, Jerry meddling, that's why I'm telling y'all, a lot of people mad at Mike McCarthy. They like, why you leave Kellen by himself? Why you leave Kellen? Listen, see, when everybody mixed in, nobody know who to point to. When everybody decisions blended, sometimes Jerry making decisions that Philman is being blamed for. Sometimes Jerry making decisions that Kellen being blamed for. So nah, it ain't no defense. And then it's also, I'm gonna get into Kellen Moore, but there's also no defense for Kellen Moore because Kellen Moore said out his own mouth that you have to be careful trying to target your number one. That's his own philosophy. That's what he believes.
Yoga fire.
That's his fault. Now, he basically saying my system trumps all of these athletes. All of them. Not just Cooper. If my system dictate that CeeDee Lamb not getting the ball, he not getting it. And I'm not drawing up no special plays for you. Yeah, he said that. Careful trying to target the number one. Kellen Moore, this is the truth. This is the truth. This is no lie. Yeah, this is the truth. This is no lie. Think about it. The Arizona game. Backup corners, both backup corners. 4 targets between Cooper and Lamb against backup corners. That was his system. Think about game 1. Like a lot of us saw Zeke come in, look better than he looks since his rookie year. Kellen Moore's system made him a blocker only versus Tampa while he was fresh.
Yoga fire.
That's putting systems over your athletes. I'm going to come back to that. But I want to first kind of deal with the spirit that's on Jerry, because this is sabotaging. Like, he's sabotaging his own success again. I've never, I'm going to ask the whole chat on Facebook as well as YouTube. Have y'all ever seen Jerry talk to even Jason Garrett with this tone? Have you ever seen Jerry talk to Jason Garrett in this tone? Now, Jason Garrett could win you only 4 games. And then he was sometimes have a hot season. But Mike McCarthy coming off a 12-5 season, and he been talked to like he's disgusting. I've never heard Jerry in 10 years use a tone like this with Jason Garrett. I've never seen it. It's almost as if he's mad. And see, I'm going to say it like this. This was the whole insult to Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy never needed the help of Jerry. Mike McCarthy whooped Jerry Jones up and down as a play caller, head coach, however you want to call it. Just go look at the record of Mike McCarthy versus the Dallas Cowboys, even with backups. Y'all remember when Matt Flynn beat Dallas in Dallas? In the fourth quarter, Matt Flynn had the biggest comeback in our franchise history in the fourth quarter. That was Mike McCarthy. Yeah, somebody say Rodgers helped him out. That's why I said don't just look at Rodgers. Don't just look at Rodgers. Look at what he did even without Rodgers. Of course, and then obviously Rodgers did help him out. But nah, we ain't gonna give Rodgers all the credit either. So why did Jerry have to insert Kellen Moore? He didn't have to. And it's almost, I'm not a fly on the wall. I'm not in Jerry's head. I'm not in his conscience. But it was almost like Jerry had to insert some type of control.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
So, and then look how they talk to Mike McCarthy. They treat him like he's the B plan. Oh man, let me show y'all this. I talked about this yesterday, but this was before it was official. This is Stephen Jones. He said, I think the word of Kellen, and that's why we want him back. See, that's a power statement too. I think the world of Kellen, and that's why we want him back. That's basically saying I'm running things. Jones said in between practices Tuesday in Mobile, Alabama, I'm not rooting against him to further his career. Hopefully it works out selfishly that we can keep him. Now, this is the insulting part to me, just keeping it real. But Jones also made it clear that if Moore leaves, it helps knowing the background of his offensive-minded head coach, Mike McCarthy. Now, Mike McCarthy has beat you, Steven, and Jerry nose up and down with no mercy, no influence by you. But he the B team play caller? Somebody help it make sense. Look at the tone of Jerry on his exit interview. He said, let me be real clear. Now, this is him talking about Mike McCarthy when he was asked about his future. He said, let me be real clear. One of the pet peeves I have is that I don't like this. Now he quoting Mike. This is in the public. Well, we got to work on this in the offseason. We got to work on this. I don't go for that. I want those things recognized and addressed after we play Tampa in week 1, after the first game, or after we play the 6th game. I don't want to wait until we're sitting here with no season left to address. These things we're doing are not doing. I mean, one thing that everybody looks for in their leaders is consistency. I don't care what level you on. Nobody wants to be ostracized or treated different. Nobody. And if I'm watching my leader in 10 years not talk to Jason Garrett in this way, and this is really my first year with my quarterback, and even without my quarterback, I had a winning December last year. We ended the season winning. And you talking to me in the public like I'm a bum, and then you go run me out there and expect my men to respect me. I'm going to tell you what Jerry asking for. Jerry is asking for, at some point, Mike McCarthy is going to have to stand up for himself. Because, see, on a personal level, if you talk to me behind closed doors and all of that, I'm going to be a whole lot more humble than when I have to go home and look my kids in their eyes, and they looking at me like, Daddy, are you getting disrespected by your boss? Why is he talking to you like that? And then that man pride start to rise up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That man pride. When you and your wife having a conversation about this in the bed at night. And she like, baby, we ain't got to take this, baby. We good. We good. Our kids going to college. See, eventually, you ain't gonna keep disrespecting me like this. And it's gonna blow up. It's gonna be some kind of way. Y'all mark my words. It's gonna be some kind of way Mike McCarthy go show his frustration with Jerry. The way that Jerry keep picking at him. And this is not consistent. That's what I don't like about this. This is not consistent. Because where's your anger for Kellen Moore? Where's your anger? You have no anger at Kellen Moore. 3 Hall of Famers, 2 who played for you, all 3 NFL analysts nationally spoke and directly pointed at Kellen Moore. 1 did a whole film breakdown. That's undeniable. Talking about the schemes and how it didn't make sense. My boy said, I believe you, boss.
Yoga fire.
And threw up the fire. I'm telling you, man, at some point, man, all of us, we men at the end of the day, you not go unsully me in front of my wife. Now, you can try to unsully me behind closed doors. You can really get in my grill. You can let me have it, boss. But I'm not going to look my kids in the face and them even think that I've been buck broken. No. It's one thing they gonna remember they daddy for, standing up for itself. I'm not gonna have those talks with my kids where sometimes you gotta lay down. Listen, I'm not laying down for something you cause. You put that Trojan horse, Kellen Moore, in my coaching staff. So why should I be laying down? You are blaming me for what you caused. I knew somebody. He was married. Key was married. I was watching him go back and forth with his ex-wife. You know, sometimes you just sitting there with the homie, right? You sitting there with the homie, you watching him go through his struggles, and he going through it with his ex-wife. And she makes a comment. Well, we wouldn't be right here with all this child support and this and that if you'd have kept us together. He said, baby, you the one that filed for divorce. Well, you was toxic. I said, I said, bro, you can't win, dog. You can't win. You can't win. Now, she blaming you for breaking up the family, but she the one that filed and then blame you again. That's just dysfunction. Mike McCarthy's in a dysfunctional relationship. That's what's happening. And it's like, you the one gave me this dude. Now you saying, and y'all the one told me he genius. Now y'all saying you should have helped him. Y'all the one said he genius. If he genius, I should have got out of his way like I've done for Dan Quinn and like I've done for my special teams coach. I get out their way. I manage the game. And I told you that I do that. I told you I let my coaches coach. That's my style. Yeah. So, toxic. That's what Mike McCarthy is dealing with now. And I know we over here like, but we can still win the Super Bowl. Boss, let's just be hopeful. Yeah, I'm hopeful, but I'm realistic. And I'm seeing a lot of distractions. Homemade distractions. The ones that we good at. Can I give myself a hand for that? Homemade distractions. We the best at that. Zeke hoop. What was up with that? Tank, he's no who did he say? He's no Von Miller. Yeah. Stephen Jones said that about his own player. He's no Khalil Mack. It's that offseason. That's what we do in the offseason. We go drum up headlines on us. Oh, it's a slow day. We let's get in front of if we're quiet, then all the media is going to be about the Super Bowl. How can I steal a headline today? I know I would throw Mike McCarthy under the bus. I'm going to throw a rock right at that hornet's nest. Boom. And it's going to stir up the conversation. But the drama doesn't stop. Let's keep going. There's more drama. I'm going to sum it up too. All right, listen to this one. This is some more drama. Here we go.
All right, so that's that. And then Bobby Belt on Friday said he's hearing that Amari Cooper and DeMarcus Lawrence could be gone.
So he said he's hearing it. What's up, JD? My boy said it. Controversy sells. Yeah, dog. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he said, he said controversy sells. Yeah, no doubt. And then Stephen White said it's like NBC without a Trump to dump. Exactly. Or like Fox with no Obama. It's both sides. It's both sides. Like everybody is going to try to stir up controversy. That's why I tell people watch both. I watch all news. I don't pick a side. Oh, I just watch this side. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, I'm going to listen to all sides. Whenever I'm trying to make any decision on anything, you're supposed to hear the opposing argument. That's why our court systems are based on facing your accuser. Like, a lot of us are, like, straight up. Like, we need to learn how to, like, listen to all sides on everything. But, yeah, MSNBC does it on Trump. Fox does it on Barack. It just happens everywhere. And we went through that deep when we talked about race the other day. And that's why I said in that one, like, listen to all sides. And that'll keep you from being fooled. Not you, Steve, but everybody. Just making that comment in general. In general. Here we go. Listen to this, though. Listen.
And
yes.
I don't think people have been able to wrap their minds around this because, like, you can't imagine this team without arguably your best defensive end and your best receiver.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it from the other way in saying, what are Amari Cooper and Tank Lawrence at their position in the league?
All right. So I want to stop right there because from here on, he's giving his thought about the worth. He talking about the worth based on what he's going to break down as their position to other positions in the league. So Sean is saying the case I'm going to try to think like I'm Jerry. I'm going to try to think like I'm Steven. And I'm going to try to weigh where does Amari rank in relation to others. So that's where he coming from. And I want to be clear on that as we go through this. Check him out.
Name the receivers better than Amari Cooper.
Do we have enough time?
First of all, that's disrespectful, RJ. But let's go.
Wow.
I mean, just running on the list. I mean, you're looking at
Who off the top of your head?
Hopkins.
He said Hopkins. Would y'all say Hopkins is better than Amari? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Coming off injury? No. That's mine. But that you don't got to agree with that. You ain't got to agree with that. Let's keep going.
Adams.
Would you say Adams is better than Amari? I would say no. I would feel like if you targeted Amari like you targeted Adams, you would get the same production. No.
Cup.
Cup, I would say yes. Cup was just crazy this year. Just crazy this year. Some people saying Hopkins is better. That's cool. I have no problem with that. Let's go.
Okay.
Claypool? Oh.
Claypool? Now that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Evans?
Evans.
Mike Evans? No, sir. No. See, don't make me pull up the target list. See, because the key difference is all of them boys had way more targets.
Tyreek?
Diggs.
Tyreek, yeah. But not a better route runner. But, yeah, I would give Tyreek Hill a slight edge over Cooper.
Diggs.
Jefferson?
Ooh, man, that's a hard one. I'm about to come back on that one.
Yes.
Okay. That's almost a 10. And Amari's getting $20 million a year. So it is very conceivable that Jerry and Stephen Jones are sitting in the office going, yo, let's save the money. He's not a $20 million a year receiver. He's not a true, no doubt number one.
See, that's the problem. I didn't see Will McClay talking about Steele. Bear 24. Somebody asked me, did I see Will McClay talking about Steele? No. Send it to my DM. I want to see that. I want to see what Will McClay got to say. But see, that's where the reach happened. See, that reach was real quick. That reach was real quick. See, he talked about, and they threw out some names of receivers that you would say is potentially better, right? So then he said, he's not a true number one. No, wait. Wait. Now, you went from a all right comparison, right, to now he's not a real number one. No, that's too big of a reach, Sean. You reach way too far. Because we all know, all you got to do, I've already done this. All you got to do is go look at the games where Amari got over 8 targets. And you're going to see an epic impact every time. Every time. He cannot plan himself to get the ball, nor can he throw himself the ball. But now this is a full-out stretch to try to discount him as if he's not a real number one. Now, keep in mind, these same guys in the same media also did not want Odell Beckham. They was calling Odell Beckham washed up. I think a lot of these guys are either kissing up to Jerry or have horrible eyes. Definitely not a good take. Bad take. Horrible take. Let's keep going.
We get 2 other guys in this discussion to bump them outside of the top 10. I mean, we probably could. I mean, if you really, really go into it, but if he's not top 8, let's save the money.
And see, only in Dallas, that's what made me think it's kissing up to Jerry. Only in Dallas do they have these fictional expectations of what makes someone worthy of a number one contract. You do not have to be considered. See, we only say that with our own. Yeah. The Truth MDP said it best. I'm gonna show you a comment. He said Jerry's narrative. Yeah, it sound like they was fed Jerry's narrative. That's exactly what it sounds like. I'm not saying that's the case, but it shows sound that way. Or this is just bad thinking. Either one is horrible. But only when it's time for our guys to get paid do you start hearing this from our media. Like when it was time for Dak to get paid, they were saying, no way should they give Dak $35 million. He's not elite. That has never been the expectation as if a quarterback is deserving to be top paid or not. Never. it's always been, are you considered a franchise quarterback? Because Jimmy Garoppolo set the market. Matthew Stafford set the market when he was at Detroit. Luck set the market. Kirk Cousins set the market. Now, it's a clear pattern that just being a franchise quarterback, you will set the market. But then our media I'm telling you, when it's time for guys to get paid, they just get stupid. They just, then they start making up these crazy cases that, how many total receivers are in the league? Let's ask that question. See, that's why you got to follow Boss Cowboy Sports. See, cause they try to talk to the simple. You got to talk very like factual and intelligent. So they named off about 8 and said he barely might be in that top 8. But there are at least 4 to 5 receivers per team. So let's do some math. Let me pull out my calculator real quick. Y'all be patient with me. This is live. This is live, but I'm getting ready to pull out my calculator because I'm finna calculate this. All right, so I got my calculator. Here it is. Here's my calculator. All right. So let's say 6 receivers per team. Okay. Let's say 6 times 32. That's 192. So if I divide 8 divided by 192, that'll tell you what percentage Cooper is in, even with what they said. That means Cooper, by their own standard, is in the top 5% out of all receivers. It's actually top 4%. So out of all receivers, you telling me that Cooper's is not worth his money? And he's the top 4%? And keep in mind, let's not forget this. He gave Dallas a discount.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
Oh, y'all remember that? When the Redskins had a deal, not the Redskins, the Commanders, no disrespect to anybody, but the Washington Commanders made Cooper a higher offer. He left it on the table and signed with Dallas.
Yoga fire.
Yeah, he gave, about a $1 or $2 million discount. Do y'all know how much more $1 or $2 million is? He did that, and look how they doing them now. Look what they doing now. So you give them a $2 million, $1 million. I don't know. It was a big deal. It was in the M's. And look. Well, let's keep going. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Listen, my boy, see the DA Lee. My boy DA say the tax difference in Texas, though. And see, you know what the funny part, DA? If you break that down, that's also a lie. Because guess what? All the players are taxed based on where they play. So if you go play in a state with higher tax, that come out your check. People didn't know that. So even the Texas state taxes don't give our players no reason to take or give discounts. So, all right, let me keep going because I'm telling the truth. All right, here we go.
And let's try to fix the rest of our team. DeMarcus Lawrence as an edge player, where is he in the discussion? Is he higher up his list than
Yes,
Amari?
100%.
Okay.
He is way higher up his list.
All right, we know TJ.
TJ, and I mean, look, there's a million of them, but he's way higher up the list.
Okay. But
because if you look at Amari, I mean, Amari's in that category with Deebo Samuel and Godwin. We haven't even mentioned those.
Wait. That boy say Amari is with Deebo Samuel and Godwin.
Guys, Christian.
Put it in the chat. Who's better? Deebo Samuel or Godwin? I mean, or Amari. Or Deebo. Now, we talking in receiver, not in athlete. In playing the receiver position. Who's better? Deebo Samuels or Amari Cooper? God, that's why this does sound like Jerry wrote y'all a script and y'all went out there and just read it. This whole case is just... It's like nobody from no team, if you got Godwin to play receiver and Amari, or you have Deebo Samuel to play receiver and Amari, ain't nobody on this earth is going to pick them other two over Amari. Boy, I swear to God. These boys. Cowboys just hired a new receivers coach. Good. That's one thing I wanted them to do. Thank you. I'm going to have to double check that to make sure that's true. But if that's true, that is a good thing. That is. And I said that. I said that on the final word. I said that at a lot of places. Because it was too many times the receivers and the quarterback was on too many different pages. And it was too many receivers. That's a whole nother conversation. And obviously, we could probably talk about that on the final word. And then somebody say, get that North Dakota receiver. I ain't too sure on that one, big dog. I talk about that, though. I got my doubts. He could come through, but the Senior Bowl didn't quite do it for me. But we'll talk about that, though. That's a draft discussion. It's a lot of hype on him. It's a lot of people pulling for him. They pulling for him so bad that they even called a play for him. Y'all go down here and tell the coach to throw him the ball. Where they do that? Where they do that at? So I try to make sure I'm not falling for the okie doke. But anyway, going back to this case that Sean and RJ was making, and I'm just breaking it down.
Kirk,
Allen
Lockett,
Robinson?
DK, Allen Robinson.
DK, Allen Robinson. Ooh, that's disrespectful. What? What? Are you serious? Marvin say, watch the film. Of course I watched the film. Listen, I'm going to tell you. Listen, when you like a guy, because you like a guy, that don't mean we didn't watch the film. Let me ask you a question. How can you trust the film? That's the real question. That's North Dakota State film. How can you trust it? Now, the thing is, he did do what you're supposed to do. Yeah, but see, if somebody said nobody in the Senior Bowl stood out, receivers in the past stood out big time. So, I'm just keeping it real. When you talking about watch the film, it's a reason why the Cowboys are very slow, and they got me talking about the draft stuff right now. I'm gonna get back to this, but I'm making this case on why I'm not just fully drinking his Kool-Aid yet. I have not gulped it. I've taken a sip, but I've not gulped a North Dakota State receiver, because who was his competition? And how can I watch consistent tape on somebody that played consistently against bad competition? So But I get into that when we start covering the draft, and that's, I'm cool that people like him, but all this watch the tape like it's just so obvious. No, and I wrote multiple books on this, big dog. I do watch the tape. I've watched a whole lot of tape on a whole lot of those receivers. I'm not just drunk on them yet. And it's a reason why the Cowboys are very, very slow to touch Division II schools, because how can you trust their tape? It's usually emotional analysis, usually. And the way that you separate is you got a Super Bowl at the Senior Bowl. You can't just be kind of in the mix. You got to be an obvious standout, and I didn't see it. So that gives me pause. That's carefully drinking the Kool-Aid. I ain't took no goats. I'm telling you, and that's fair analysis. So he got a couple of more things that can boost his stock. He got to kill the pro day, which I will watch, and he got to kill the combine, which I will watch. That's what it is. So going back to the disrespect. Look at all the disrespect. All them beat 13 receivers that they named off. Let me keep going.
So if he's in that category, then it can make a lot of sense.
But he's not in that category, Sean. He's not in the category with DK Metcalf and all them other number 2 receivers. Y'all really calling Amari a number 2 receiver?
The problem is, what is Dak in the offense without him?
And that's not even the case. He said, what is Dak without him? That's not the case. The real case is this. I'm going to tell you the case. The case is, what's the biggest negative impact on your team? That's the case. Not, is he a top 10 or not? And even if he is barely top 10, remember, that's still top 4 to 5% of the whole league. See, what they did is they minimized it. I promise it looked just like Jerry himself wrote out a script and said, guys, make this case. Make this case. Because, and somebody say they've been unsullied. I mean, I don't know. Because they also just kept it real on the disrespect that he did to Mike McCarthy. They might just be bad at thinking this through. Like real surface on their reasons. If you're not top 10, you shouldn't get paid. No, that's your pull out your butt reason. You pull that out your butt. Can we have real analysis on what makes a receiver or quarterback worthy of their contracts? Somebody say, where's that Scrooge McDuck photo? I still got it. I took it out the show, though. I'll put it back in. Yeah. But that's real, though. This is Scrooge stuff. And see, partially what's happening is, see, y'all got to really listen to these media boys, man. They be telling you what they be doing. Bobby Belt said, if it bleeds, it reads. I'm going to say it again. He said, if it bleeds, it reads. That's his philosophy. So the things that are put on the top of his writing queue, right? So what are them things that I'm going to write about first? He's going to write about those things that's the most painful. That's why he said, if it bleeds, it reads. Meaning whatever causes the most pain is what I'm going to focus on. That's Bobby Belt. So it's no coincidence that I predicted that they was coming after Cooper. I said it before the season ended. I said, I can show you. It's pinned on my Twitter. It's the first comment. I saw it coming. I said it a month before all of this stuff happened with Cooper. I said the local media in the offseason is going to target Amari Cooper the whole time knowing he was under targeted. Is that what we're seeing right now? Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing. That's exactly what they're doing. He's a story that bleeds. That's what's happening. But see, the problem is this story bleeding, right? It's painful and it stirs up a lot of attention because we care about the future. So we get all bogged down into this bleeding story. But it also plays into the hands of Jerry and Steven. They can use this and will use this to get rid of him. Yeah. And see, D-Block, my boy D-Block said he shared that with another content creator today. Yeah, it's a whole lot of content creators. They just don't see it. Bless their heart, big dog. They don't. And I've been warning them. I've been telling them, I'll be like, bro, this been coming. This ain't something that's new. All right. Y'all check this out. I'm going to play this clip from Bobby Belt on Sean and RJ show. We go break this down. Then we go break down Kellen Moore. Here we go.
Has value like that. And so, I mean, I just, I think Coop developed a bit of a reputation as when he's disinterested.
So he said Cooper has developed a reputation. Let me listen to his whole thing.
Has value like that. And so, I mean, I just, I think Coop developed a bit of a reputation as when he's disinterested, then he's not going to be very engaged and he's not going to put up numbers. So I think that.
So the reason that they see, because they already see, this is another prediction. This is what they're gearing up. They're gearing up to say, now, write this down. Today is February the 7th. February the 7th. This is going to be the narrative that you're going to hear a lot from the local media. Cooper, disinterested. He checks out. That's what happened with the Raiders. That's what's happening with him now. And that's why his numbers were so bad. That's going to be their narrative if they try to fire him. And they go push it all together in one voice. Bobby's setting it up. Listen.
Then he's not going to be very engaged and he's not going to put up numbers. I think that was a reputation in, Oakland when he was with the Raiders.
Yeah. So they said that was his reputation with Oakland. So this is why you got to follow Boss Cowboy Sports. Okay? Because this is one of the few locations that's not only going to tell you the truth, it's going to show you the truth. Okay? That way you cannot be swayed unless you a Seco fan, a Kiss butt. That's the only way you can be swayed. Because once you know the whole truth, they can't come to you with these lies and spin. Yeah. And see, Anthony, I'm going to address this comment because this is exactly why y'all need to stay with that Boss Cowboy Sports. Check this out. I'm going to read this comment, then we go through the facts. All the facts. We ain't going to leave nothing out. All right. He said, boss, what's sad is that Dak was all for not targeting Amari. It started in training camp when Dallas predicted that Lamb was going to be highly targeted. That's actually not true. Now, it sounds true, and in some ways Dak is at fault, but he's about 20% at fault. The person that's 80% of the fault is actually Kellen Moore. And I'm going to prove it to you. Okay? I can prove it with Amari's comments as well as Kellen Moore's comments. And Dak is involved with this too. So I'm gonna show you. Let's just go with the facts. First of all, looking at what Amari said, as they're trying to now paint him as moody, disinterested, checking out, that type of stuff. Amari Cooper's numbers are lower than they have been in his Cowboys tenure. Now, this was January 5th when this came out. And this is what he said. I just really feel, or I really know, that given the opportunity, I can lead the league in all categories. Notice he said, if given the opportunity. Who has to give you the opportunity? We gonna talk about that. Amari tells us, this is just how I feel about the skill set I've been blessed with. And that is actually true. When you look at when Amari is targeted, just thrown at, he puts up epic numbers if you target him. Most people don't know that his targets is equal to Schultz, which is insulting. And he still had more touchdowns than all the other receivers, with less targets than CeeDee Lamb. In what offense do your number 2 get more targets than your number 1? So I said we was gonna go to the facts. So y'all get ready. Here's some facts. We go back in time and we go recall how the story was really told from the mouth of Cooper. And for bonus, I might even pull up Kellen Moore. But let's listen to Cooper first. Here we go.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us per usual.
Thanks for having me.
Link is in the description. The link is in the description, so you can watch the whole interview. Plus, this is following fair use principles.
Which car are we in?
G-Wagon, man.
Okay, good. All right.
Is this a? I know it's not wintertime out there, Amari, but is the G-Wagon kind of your wintertime car? I mean, I know it's nice and beautiful out there, but do you kind of drive your cars how the seasons go?
See, I gotta give Brian Brothers and Kavanaugh some credit. They spent some time on a question. See, that was a warm-up question to try to break the ice to get them talking. See, they think it through. Some of them other people that interview, especially the midday guys, bro, it's like they sleep.
Nah, the G-Wagon is my everyday car.
Oh,
my everyday car.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. Mine's a CRV, very similar.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are on a nice little winning streak, but we were looking at yesterday the amount of targets for Amari Cooper the last handful of games. And
see, notice during the season, they all knew about his lack of targets, but all of a sudden, they don't know no more. All of a sudden, they just don't know why his numbers were down. See? Man.
they're not big numbers. What all is going into that, and does it bother you at all when you guys are winning but the offense isn't being explosive or you're not getting the ball? Does that bother you at all?
It's amazing. See, they knew he wasn't getting the targets. Now, nobody talking about Kellen Moore or Dak as the reason for the lack of targets. But this finna really prove who was on. Listen.
I gotta be honest, it actually does. Because
now they winning games and he's saying I'm bothered. Does that sound disinterested? Like they're getting ready to try to portray him?
Yeah, we're winning, but the defense is playing a huge part in that. We're not really as explosive as we should be. We're not converting a lot of their turnovers to touchdowns. A lot of them are field goals, and I feel like I could be a huge part of that. So that.
Does that sound disinterested? And yes, I am for the firing of the wide receiver coach. I'm gonna break that down. You go see why I am for getting rid of him.
That's what frustrates me. And yeah, that's what it is. I think I can do more in the red zone. If I get the targets, I think I can do more on third downs if I get
the what? I can do what if I get the what?
The targets, so that to help the offense.
Not to help me, to help the offense.
Be where we need to be. I definitely think I can help change that for sure.
Amari, you're such a pro, though. Is that a conversation that you just kind of walk up at practice and kind of talk to Kellen Moore a little bit? You say, hey, or you just see the game plan, okay, this week I got a shot because 2 weeks ago we played these guys. I know who's going to cover me this week again. Is it something you say to the OC, or is it just something you kind of say, hey, I'm just going to just go out here and practice and do what I'm supposed to do?
First of all, damn good question, Brian Broadus. That boy, Broadus came down and boom, he mashed on that question. Like, man, he dunked on it. And I love how he set it up. He framed it perfect. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean,
hold on. I got to go back. He framed it perfect. He said, you a pro. See, that's going to Amari's demeanor. In other words, you're not a diva. You see what's going on. You mean you can't just go talk to your OC and like, what's going on with that? You can't say, hey, man, I'm facing this guy. I killed him the last time. Like, is this going to be my shot? What's going on? Y'all heard about the wide receiver coach. I'm cool with that. I will explain why that's actually a good thing. And I promise you I'm going to break that down. I'm going to break that down next because I'm getting a lot of questions on that. I'm going to talk about why I really do, even if it's scapegoatish, it still was the right move. But we're going to talk about that. But Brian was doing a good job. Like, the world see you not a diva. You not the typical diva receiver. Isn't this something you can have a conversation about? Good question, Brian. I mean, he killed that question, murdered it.
Communicate with each other, me, Kellen, Dak, talk about
is it something you say?
Hold on. And see, now this goes back to that comment. Remember, we had a comment that, it was that Dak was the one. That Dak, should have been the one. Let's really get into what Cooper's saying is the one. Listen.
Hey, to the OC, or is it just something you kind of say, hey, I'm just going to just go out here and practice and do what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, we communicate with each other, me, Kellen, Dak.
So he said we communicate with each other, me, Kellen, Dak. Y'all heard that? All right, keep listening.
We talk about what we like and what we don't like.
We talk about what we like and we don't like. So there's some communication going on.
It's just a matter of it being put into the actual game plan.
It's just a matter. So we talk. I go to them. I go to Dak. I go to Kellen. I talk to them. I tell them, and they talk to me. But see, you're not dealing with no dummy. See, Cooper, but it's just a matter of it being put in the game plan or called. So who is that on? Is that on Dak? Or is that on the play caller?
Being called in the actual game. Typically, we never run any play in the game that we don't practice that week. So you would know throughout the course of the week how much you're going to get targeted for real.
So Bobby Belt, he put out there, it's some people in the building feeling like he checked out and it was disinterested. If you go listen to him talk, he say, I'm interested in having an offense and I can really help if they give me the targets, especially in the red zone and on third down. Yeah, my boy D.A. Lee say folks don't even listen to these interviews. I know, bro. That's why I got to break them down. I got to break these interviews down because people have no idea what was said or nothing. It's just that I'm organized so I can go back and this is what was said. This is how you can see that the media knows that he under targeted. Like, I can prove all of that, but now all of a sudden they just stupid. Yeah, but listen.
But I mean, it's all a part of the game plan, and
Oh, because he also said, which is so key, that you go get the targets from practice. Dre the Gray. Dre the Gray. My boy say, Boss Cowboy breaks the news before everybody ahead of the game. I wish, dog. I wish. I'm just good at reading tea leaves, though. I am good at that part. I can read tea leaves very well. But so, how's that on Dak? That's my question. If Cooper saying himself, I know based on practice if we go get real targets or not. How is that on Dak? How is it even on him? Like Bobby said, it was some people in the building that believed that he was, he checked out with the Raiders and that's why he didn't have the production. But he's saying all of us know when we are not getting the ball based on what he's having us practice that week. Messy.
The offensive coordinator, he sees a bigger picture than you as just a receiver because you're only looking at it from that perspective as a receiver as opposed to looking at the whole offense and the whole strategy like that. So, I mean, it's
and that's actually being unselfish. See, y'all gotta peep what's going on, man. I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. This is an innocent man being falsely accused. Let me talk to the jury. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are witnessing the trial of Amari Cooper, and he's falsely accused of diva-ish behavior. When I'm listening to him in his own interview, I'm hearing somebody that's trying to be balanced and fair. He literally said that Kellen Moore's scheme and system is a part of his plan, which also fits what Mike McCarthy said. So you got him saying, hey, man, I don't see his big picture. All I'm saying is I can help this offense if maybe y'all ramped up my targets in the red zone and on critical third downs. You know the sad part? It was true. Because the very next game, they did. He went off. Oh, JD. See, this is JD out the CC. You said it right, my dog. Victim of circumstances. Ooh, I could have said it better myself. Ooh, and this, or maybe this is better than JD's. Called a railroading for buffering cheese. Ooh, man, God, get everybody.
Yoga fire.
Everybody.
Yoga fire.
Everybody get fired.
Yoga
Everybody.
flame.
Everybody. Railroaded. Yeah. Railroaded. That's what we looking at. We looking at a guy who was been a team guy. And when he went to the media, he didn't even undress Kellen Moore. He didn't undress him. He said, he has the big picture. It's his scheme, it's his plan. I'm just saying how I think I can help this offense.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
But let's listen to Kellen Moore, who gives us an opposite picture, right? If we listen to Kellen Moore, it's the total opposite. So, cause see, that's why y'all gotta listen to the Boss Cowboy Sports, cause I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you.
Yoga fire.
I'm gonna show you.
Yoga
I'm gonna
flame.
bring all the evidence right in your face. Where it's undeniable, jury. Where it's undeniable. Here we go. Watch this. And we gonna be able to see even more clear. That was clear enough. But remember, in a real court, you have to be able to efface your accuser. Mr. Kellen Moore, you have been accused, sir, of sticking to your scheme in a stubborn fashion. What do you have to say as I cross-examine you, sir?
Amari, talking to us last week, expressed some frustration, just wanting to get the ball. Obviously, they all want the ball. Was there a concerted effort on your part to give him more opportunities than in previous games?
Oh, another good question. This should clear it up. Hey, you know what, Kellen? Surely you not saying that you not making did you make a concerted effort to give him the ball, or was it just coincidence? Because, I see other teams, I just want to give you a fair chance to cross-examine you, because I do see other teams like Adams. It looked like they give him the ball and false targets to him. Cooper Kupp, they do the same thing with him. Thielen, they do the same thing. It's actually like almost all across the league. So, that's kind of crazy that people would think you intentionally not targeting him. Or what's your answer to that, sir?
Or that's just the way it went?
I think certainly it's the way it went.
So you didn't intentionally target him. And you admitted it.
Obviously, we love getting the ball to Amari as much as we can. Felt like there were some great opportunities in this particular game. Amari did a great job of, especially early in the game, just being available, being open, doing a great job of getting his depth on particular routes. And so I felt like we did a great job of getting in a rhythm there. And, I think you always have to be careful of trying to narrow the focus for the quarterback into one particular guy. We feel fortunate.
This ain't on Dak. This ain't on Dak. Listen, y'all. This is one thing we got to go ahead and swallow right now. This is on Kellen Moore. Again, we had 3 Hall of Famers all directly point at Kellen Moore. Direct. 2 that played for Jerry. 1 did a whole film breakdown that it was Kellen Moore. Kurt Warner, Aikman, and Michael Irvin. And Cooper, add him to it. He said y'all heard Brian Brothers, do you just go to the player caller? You're a professional. Do you just approach him and say, hey, this guy, I know I can beat him. How do you put your name in a hat? You know how Brian said it perfect. I paraphrased. He said, yeah, we talked, me, Kellen, Dak, but it's more of a matter, is it actually put in the game plan and is it called? That's what Cooper said. So you got 3 Hall of Famers and Cooper all pointing at Moore. But the person that's getting lectured in the public is Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is the one that's the whooping boy to Jerry Jones right now. He's fully unsullied, Mike McCarthy. Ooh-wee, this is a mess. So, getting to the final point. Because that wasn't even the final point. So what we addressed was that was the hot seat rumor. So we just talked about the Amari. He's on the hot seat, y'all. He's on the hot seat. We talked about the Jerry Jones disrespect. Now we got to talk about what does it mean now that it's official that Kellen Moore is returning. Okay. The first thing, I'm going to be all the way honest with you. The first thing that it likely means that Kellen Moore's returning, it likely means that you're going to lose Amari Cooper. Likely. Okay? That's the first thing. Because remember, when I did a video breakdown and I talked about the Scrooges and I talked about what the Scrooges want, we got to remember Kellen Moore's background. He went 50-3 as an average quarterback and as an average quarterback with an average arm and with average athletes. That got the capitalists, or what I call the Scrooges, that got their attention. And this is the thing about his system. I really want y'all to stay with me. Really stay with me. If you tuned out, don't tune out. This is where you got to fully stay with me. See, what also made Kellen Moore so tempting is because the numbers also say that this fool's gold is potentially real gold. When you see all number one in yards, number one in points, a high-paced offense, this is the best way I can describe it. Well, maybe I can pick another way, but I'm going to describe it this way. It's like this has happened to a lot of us, women and men. Y'all hear me out. Hear me all the way out. Have y'all really stay with me on this? Don't trip when I say this, but just think about this metaphor I'm getting ready to give you. Have you ever talked to a beautiful woman? I mean, she was head to toe cold, right? And you did your thing and you finally got it to where it was time. And when it was time to get down, you noticed that she had a body odor. Now she just got out the shower. How's this possible? She just took a long bath. What is this smell? It's happened to women too, because us men, some of us have body odors. That's natural. So it's happened to you finally getting ready to get down. You find Todd say, damn boss, you going in. Hey, listen, I gotta keep it real though. It's the way, Todd, that I gotta paint this picture. Cause it's true though. I mean, Todd, I'm talking about he had it going on. You was like, ooh, man, I'm finna get, I've been waiting on this dude. And then you get, and you like, you took a long shower and what's that? Todd say that ain't natural for no woman though. Teach me the game. Teach me the game, Todd. Teach me the game. Some ain't right though. Somebody say flag on my boy Renell say flag on the play. Unnecessary roughness. Hey man, exactly. That's what Kellen Moore is to Jerry and Steven. He's sexy. All this number one. All it is. But for those who got a nose, they smell him and they like, dude stink. He stink. Where do he stink? He's thinking them big games. That's where his offense stink. See, he's sexy. He's sexy versus Philly. He's sexy versus the Commanders. He's sexy versus the Little Giants. He's sexy. I mean, Coke bottle waist, cute face with halitosis when it's time to face Kansas City. What is that smell? And see, you can't get us to unsmell what we smell. That's what it is. Ty, that's what it is. She say shots fired. Yeah, my boy Starboy laughing. Cause you know I'm telling the truth, Star. You know I'm telling the truth. You done finally got a chance to get down with her and she stank. You like, dang, I waited. Man, all them dinners, all that on the phone, all that putting it down, all that Kool-Aid, took you to the family picnic for some funk tunk. I ain't gonna even post your comment, Renee. I ain't gonna even, yeah, that's what Kellen Moore is. And see, Jerry is trying to come to us and say, he putting his finger in our nose, him and Steven, and saying, it don't stink. No, it stink. It stink. And the worst part is that it stinks. And it's like, y'all don't smell it. So what does Kellen Moore return mean? To be honest, I don't know. Likely, it means it still gonna stink. Likely. Why? Because you're not hearing no pressure coming from Jerry and Steven. All the pressure they putting is on McCarthy. So basically they telling Kellen, hey man, you ain't gotta change. You don't stink. That's them. We don't smell you. You smell good. Even though Aikman said you got a body odor. And then Michael Irvin said, yeah, plus halitosis, your breath kicking, brother. Then somebody said, Aikman and the playmaker, they just hating. Kurt Warner say, no, they ain't. No, they ain't. I ain't never played for the Cowboys. He stank. He over there got Schultz one-on-one on the corner. Make that scheme make sense. That's what Kurt Warner said. He said that breakdown is on Kellen. And what the Cowboys and they front office getting ready to do is they saying, trust us. Because maybe this though, maybe, just throwing out a maybe, all that talk from the playmaker, all that talk from Kurt Warner and Troy, maybe that got his attention. Somebody say, Tyrone Church. Every time y'all say I'm going in, I never feel like I'm going in. Like, never. My boy say, boss, they ain't going in. I just feel like I'm keeping it real, man. That's the best example I can think of, right? Where she pretty, you know what I mean? And we've all been through it. Well, not all. Because everybody just didn't have that experience. But I've had it. Where I was excited until everything came down. Then it was like, I gotta go. Yeah. But that's what we're dealing with. And the only way it's gonna change, sadly, it's gonna have to change from Kellen himself. Kellen would have to have the humility to hear from a distance Hall of Famers and say, well, maybe I'm not as genius as I think I am. Because according to him, he like, you got to be careful trying to target a primary guy. But maybe if he listened to the stories of guys who actually accomplished the ultimate dance and had to face the ultimate courage, maybe they wake you up. Is that likely? No. Why is it not likely? Because even during this press conference, This was after the Washington game. I ain't gonna read your comment, Antoine. Yes, I am, because this was a good one. This is a good one. He said, yeah, boss, been there. She smelled like 2 days prior after 5K. Oh, no, you got me messed up, big dog. That boy say it didn't stop boss from eating the girls. Boy, yes, it did. I don't know what you talking about, Pootie. Bang, bang. See, no, Pootie, yeah. In my tracks, big dog. Yeah. In my tracks, big dog. But what's the chances though? Keeping it real, keeping it real. He was in the press conference. This was after Amari went off versus Washington. And he still had the arrogance to stick up for this system. Surely it was by coincidence. We didn't intentionally target Cooper. It just so worked out that he so happened to be open. And worse than that, he lying. See, when you're talking to people who know football, they talk. I'm gonna ask everybody. What's a script? What's a script? So a script is the first series where the plays are drawn up because you pretty much feel like you know how the defense is going to come out. So you already have pretty much your whole series drawn out. That's called a script. Every offense has a script that they come out to. Then they adjust off of the script, especially if the defense is giving different looks. But the first thing they do is they come out with a script. Gary Brown said the first 15 plays. Absolutely. Every team has a script because that script is based on what we think you're getting ready to do, and this is how we go come at you right now. Now, if you different, it's almost like boxers where they might intentionally lose the first round, but they feeling you out. They feeling you out. They getting your time and they getting your rhythm. So in the Washington game, they targeted Cooper first. But see, Kellen said it wasn't intentional. Ah, perfect. Ooh, I like this. It's like opening with pawns. Exactly. It's like opening with pawns for those who play chess. I play chess, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Because you can open a lot of ways. You can open with your pawns. You can open with your knights. You can free up your queen and get her going on some action and then attacking. The chess players feel me. But how you come out targeting him, you open with your pawns, but then say, I didn't open with my pawns. That means in his interview, he was in his feelings. He did it with that softball look. He looked innocent, but if you break down what actually happened in the game, he didn't tell the truth. Because you did. They pressured you to target him, and you did not want to openly say, yep, I felt the pressure to target him, and I should have. So what you did is you blamed him. You said, yeah, he earned his targets, especially early in the game. So he just so happened to be the very first look on Dak this time. He just so happened this time to be the week you decide to practice those plays that y'all was going to come out in your script. So, Cowboy Nation, it's some people right now that's pom-pomming. They happy that he's back. I'm not. But I haven't given up on Kellen because people can change. But the change is going to have to come from him. He can. I really meant when I did that show that there's an opportunity for him to be real gold, to go from false gold to real gold. His change is actually not even that hard. He got to make up in his mind that, no, my system is not above my stars. The moment that clicks, the moment you'll see a Dallas Cowboys that's ready to take the next step, where their offense then turns up versus good teams. But as long as you see your stars on the shelf, illogically, he's the dude with the body odor. He's the lady with the body odor. Sexy, go put up good numbers, go be number one in this and that. But when it counts, when it's time to rock, when it's time to really get in and out that thing and have some fun, it stank. So the biggest clues you got to look for big games. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all right now, every game next year to where we're favored and clearly favored, when we win those, I'm going to be like this. Okay. But when we got those games that's like, this is go test where Dallas is, I'm going to be. And I'm going to have my eyes big, and I'm going to be counting what is happening with these stars. What am I seeing? Yeah, my boy Ricky Hunter. Man, that better not be Ricky Hunter from Kimball. Is that Ricky Hunter from Kimball from the K? Is that the D-Town homie? But he said, bro, I don't even listen to local media anymore. They don't know football. Yeah, bro. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's even frustrating to hear their questions, dog. Just they questions is, ooh, man, Ricky, where you come from? Ricky come in here, man. Because that's what it looked like. This is Ricky next coming. He's and they're puppets for Jerry, spreading this propaganda and agenda. That's what his show looked like. Because I'd be like, bro, y'all turn real dumb real fast. Like, I just can't believe y'all that dumb. But I'm going to be looking. And this is what I suggest y'all look for before y'all get all turned up. We 6-1. We this or that. We 8-2 to the bowl, y'all, to the bowl. We going back. Ooh, we going back. Nah, let's calm down. The first thing you got to look for is the next time we play a team like Arizona, who we had circled, and we call that a statement game, and we circled them on the calendar, and they had two backup corners. And CeeDee Lamb and Cooper only had 4 targets combined. If you see stuff like that, even when we win or if we win, body odor. Body odor. Stank. Sexy, got the hips, got the lips. Ooh, girl. Then as soon as she take it down, ooh. Soon as he take it down, for the ladies that's listening, I just got a headache. Cause you stink. And it's gonna come out after and the L. So just keep your eyes open, cause he can change. He can change. He really can. Anthony Brown changed. Schultz game changed. He got way better. Schultz, he changed. People can change. People can grow. People can develop new philosophies off of failure. But if he show up like he did at that press conference, he's still the same. And don't fall for it. Don't fall for none. Peter said, appreciate this, Peter. Appreciate this a lot, Peter. He said, share the content. Yeah, everybody get your show on. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people don't have no idea about none of this stuff. They falling for it. Jerry and them got their minions out there pointing their finger at Amari, making these public cases against Amari, when the whole time it's been Kellen Moore. Cooper said it. Now, if Cooper said it alone, a lot of us would call him diva. But he wasn't alone. He had 3 Hall of Famers have his back. That it was a system failure over a player failure. But see, now, my boy Gary said he shared. I appreciate that, Gary. Because this is what you got to do with content like this. You got to share it. You do. Especially if it registers to you. You got to share it because a lot of people have no idea. But the more people that hear this content to where I broke down and proved it, showed the clips, showed the interviews where you can't deny it, then you'll get more people louder and our voices start to matter even more. So I'm gonna try to take some calls. Y'all know how that go. When I usually take calls, it's been real weird lately. But I'm gonna try again. Let's go. We got the call line open. It's 941-942-2100. So we got the call line open. Y'all call on in. I saw Renell say, he said something about calling in. But let's talk about this. We got the call lines open. It's 941-942-2100. So I'm gonna keep it on for a little while because it's something been going on with my phone system, y'all. It might not even be y'all. It might be my system. Because I refreshed it. I restarted it. I think I'm gonna just have to get a new phone. But yeah, it's 941-942-2100. Let me hold on real quick. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make an outbound call. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call you, Renell. Second. Y'all be patient with me. We'll take a call. Oh, there it is. No. Oh. Okay, I see what happened. So, okay, hold on. Call back because they said, okay, here we go. The application version is incompatible with the service. Would you like to update application now? Yes. All right, so I just updated. Y'all give me a second, man. I thought I already did this. Updated the application. All right, try to call again. Y'all stay with me, man. Y'all don't go nowhere. Y'all be patient. Y'all know how it is. Cause I want to take some calls. You know, y'all voice matter, so I want to try to push through it and take some calls. Go back and forth. All right, I'm gonna try to make an outbound call real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna call Pastor Douglas. Let me see. Call Renell. No, I'm gonna call Renell because he just said something about that. All right, hold on. Y'all give me a second. All right, here we go. Ooh, wee. Ah. Okay. It's just not working, y'all. So, hey. But that's Boss Cowboy Sports, man. Yeah, that's Boss Cowboy Sports, where Yo. Man, that was weird. All right. Yo. Yeah. My sound tripping that. Man, listen, I'm finna get off the show, man. It's starting to act real janky, y'all. But hey, y'all make sure y'all share the content. For real. That's one of the most important things you can do is share this content. And I'll walk on this phone system. I got a sound guy. I gotta obviously have a late night with him, get this stuff working again. But make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe and share the content. And then obviously a lot of you guys do give. Please continue to do that. That's helping out the mission of what we got going on. It helps us put together the quality content that you see. But that's Boss Cowboy Sports, man, where your voice matter. It's important to me to get the phone system going. So y'all give me a couple of days on that, at the latest Thursday, and then we'll get the phones back up, and that way we can start having calls where it's interactive like we used to. But until then, y'all stay up. Peace.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Shout out Sean.